Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcore and Guides bringing you my guide for Splatterhouse on brutal difficulty. Today we're doing phase 7, which is entitled Scream Park. Kind of well, I'm trying to think of the word for it. A well-fitting name for this, I guess you could say, this chapter exactly. This one is going to be filled with clowns, so that's, yeah, the new enemy archetype that we have to deal with. Zombie clowns. So if you don't like clowns, well, this is not the chapter for you. But, you know, for me, I don't like clowns. I'm not afraid of clowns. I just think that they are really, really annoying. And this chapter is basically perfect for me, because we get to rip them in half. They're just like any other normal zombie, except these ones actually breathe fire, and they have a lot more health, which is weird, because these guys are a lot skinnier. And it just doesn't come off as if they would have a lot of health. Anyway, I think I did have some frame drops, but I think in this chapter it wasn't really a big deal. I don't remember if this one actually dropped frames. The last chapter I actually recorded these all in a... it was all in a 4-video session, so... Well, I didn't do it in one big, giant, concessive session. I separated these videos, but yeah, Elgato, you know how I've been talking about that quite a bit, so that's been kind of messing up. So anyway, you don't take damage from that door when it starts to slam down, only when... Actually, I don't think you ever take damage from it at all, because I don't think it ever opens up and hits you again. So basically, it's just going to spawn these clown zombie guys, and some of them will actually spawn behind you in the next few phases of this little fight. I think the first ones actually come through that door. That's the first 3 or so that come through that door. Then after that, they're going to start sending... You can see that they send 2 through the door, but there's actually going to be some guys coming from the sides too. Be careful of that spin wheel kick, because it actually can frame lock you. It's really, really, really irritating. The best way to get through the fire is either get behind them as quickly as possible and just kind of take them out that way. But look at that. Look at what my weapon damage can do. It can knock them into the red. It literally knocks them into the red finishing capability, the splatter kill capability. That's a lot of health for these, you know, small looking, skinny little freaking bastards. I don't know, like I said, I just hate clowns in the particular sense that I just find them kind of annoying. And yeah, that's pretty much the idea. The best way to get out of that is just to roll before they start attacking you, because you can't really roll when they are attacking you. It's kind of like with the spiked terratoids, I guess you can say, the smaller terratoids, where they actually will inflict, they can frame lock you only if you don't roll after the first, you know, hit, and then they hit you again, and then if you don't roll after that, well, you're going to get hit one more time. So that's pretty much the idea. I said, screw this, my weapons are broken, I don't have any more weapons, there's only 2. So I said, you know what? We're gonna go berserk. We're gonna splatter kill these guys. Not splatter kill. We're just gonna go berserk, cut these guys up. And so actually, I cut off their heads, and I had like a head left, so I threw that at that guy, hoping that it would hit the guy behind, but that didn't work out. So I was beating this guy down, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, don't I have the ability to rip arms off? I'm like, well, you know, I'll just cut him in half. And so I remembered that I actually had the ability to rip limbs off and use it against them, so that actually will come in handy later. But thank goodness we're not doing a no upgrade run just yet, because that is probably the most handy upgrade, well, no pun intended, I guess, because you literally rip off their hands. But, well, you don't rip off their hands, you rip off their arms, so take that pun as you will. But it actually is pretty convenient due to the fact that if you're ever swarmed by, you know, zombie-like enemies, then you can just use it to your advantage and, you know, rip off an arm here and then use it as a weapon. You can get away with at least 1 to 2 kills with it, so that's not really that bad. You don't drop a lot of blood when you rip somebody's arm off, but yeah, I just stood there and let Rick go ahead and crack his arms there, let him, you know, yeah, just kind of pop the shoulders a little bit. So that first door, when you throw these spiked guys on spikes, that's where they belong. The second door is what you're supposed to open it with. I don't think you actually have to open any of these doors. But the third one actually will open up the door to these little exploding guys. And they are quite irritating. They explode and they do a lot of damage. But I will show you how to rid of those guys later. They only appear, like, I think in this chapter and the next one, I think. They don't appear for very long, so it's not really a big deal. Right here I said, you know what, arm ripping time. This is actually when I got the idea to start ripping arms off. I know I said that earlier, but I think it was right about around here when I'm like, you know, wait, what about the arm ripping? You know, I'm like, I forgot about that. I forgot about the ability to rip arms off. I didn't forget about it, I just didn't do it as much. So I decided to go ahead and pick up the bat, and I got a new weapon. The game says that when you go to survival arenas and you get all 10 missions completed in each, like, okay, actually I think it's when you do it in one arena, I think it unlocks other weapons for you, but I think what it means by that, I think it means like you unlock weapons in the survival arena stages, not actually the in-game campaign stages, which I don't know if I want to do S-rank showcase for those or not. I mean, this is a guide channel, and I guess I probably could do it, but I mean, they don't even last that long. They're like only like a few minutes long anyway. They're not really that big of a deal. All I really gotta do for those is just get the 10 missions that, or the 10 side missions in that, which 2 of them are take no damage things. So if you guys know me pretty well, you probably understand that I'm not really that good at not taking damage. And the thing is, it's kind of a weird little timer. I don't understand the timing of it. So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, actually, we're not gonna go ahead. We are doing. Basically, what we do here is we just go ahead and get close to that little. I don't know what these things are called. Get close to this little pallet thing right here. I don't know what I called it that. You get close to that little slam thing right there. Test your strength. That's what it is. One of those test your strength thingy-bobbers, and then you do. Well, you actually have to jump this one. I think you have to jump that and slam. I don't think slamming it normally will actually work, but I think it's possible. I don't know. So yeah, this might be uploaded like Monday, maybe Tuesday. I don't know when these are going to be uploaded. I don't know if I'm going to be able to record commentate most of these today at all. So we're just going to see how that works. Actually, today is Monday. I just decided to take the day off and just because, you know, to help out with the wisdom teeth craft and stuff like that. So everything's going fine with that. But oh man, it's just I get so worried for some reason when I take days off, even when I just prematurely think of them ahead and I ask for the days off ahead. The way that my work works is it works entirely differently. Like you can call in and say that you can't come in and stuff like that, and you know take some of your personal time off. They should let you do that. These guys are just going to die no matter what you do. They're just going to be killed off ahead of time, so no worries there. I want to go ahead and see if I can move my can a little bit. That way I can stop picking up my fan from my computer. It's another one of these stupid-ass Mama Big bookworms. Luckily for me, I got just enough of a hit to get all of his health knocked off, because I took a lot of damage from that. The thing about this game is it's also, well, this is a very weird game in terms of how everything works, and as you guys have experienced with me over time, there's been some weird things that actually have been happening. And one thing I want to talk about was whenever you take a critical hit, usually you get to the point where you're at like 1% HP or so. I consider it like a 1%. I don't know if it's like any other exact percent. I just love how Rick his body just falls right down there, doesn't move, nothing. But you can survive a critical hit until you get hit one more time and then it's game over, which gives you the chance to do a splatter siphon and get your health back. That's what kind of makes this game a little bit more easier, makes it kind of a little bit more lenient. So, in this little dungeon area, I think I do use Berserk, but I remember I could have sworn that I ripped one of their arms off, because these guys have a lot of HP, like I said, and as you can see, they're taking a lot of beatings. And a normal zombie by now probably would have been at least in the red state, but that's just a normal one. Like, yeah, right now he finally got it to the red state. So this is probably my second favorite splatter kill, I have to say, because my first one is definitely the lungs. I like ripping the lungs out, but this one, I don't know, just watching them get ripped in half is pretty nice. It's pretty satisfying. I just don't know why. It just is. So since we actually beat Chapter 6, we have the access to the thing called the Splatter Smash, which is just L1 and triangle. We don't have any upgrades for it just quite yet. We just have it unlocked because we just got it. So, but I will be upgrading it later on. I used that guy's arm to rip this guy's arms off. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and rip his arms off. I don't like, I mean, I get that you drop 2, but I just don't like how the limbs disappear after a short and like extremely short period of time. Like look how fast that was. You see that arm back there that just disappeared like that. So there's only going to be one Abor that's going to show up in this little area. After you clean out all the clowns, there's going to be an Abor. And he's pretty much easy to kill. Just berserk or smash or slice him however you wish to take him down, or use some arms to your advantage. Like I said, even though you don't get a lot of blood from it, you can build up blood over time, you know, if you go back in chapters, if you do survival data. So these were the exploding little turrets I was talking about. Basically, the best thing you can do is, of course, do splatter kill, or I don't think they're called splatter kills. I don't know what these ones are particularly called. Splatter moves. Yeah, if you do like splatter moves on them, it will obviously insta-kill them. But I actually got an insta-kill on the territory right there. Look at that. That was awesome with that smash. But you saw that I used the Gorefest, as it's called now. I think I have the carousel upgraded to the Gorefest, which is just circle and square. And then I go ahead and I upgrade my health because we need that extra percentage. Definitely need some more health because we're going to be taking a lot of damage in the near future. There's actually a chapter coming up that only took me 5 minutes to go through. So that's pretty nice. I love how like you can run through there and you can catch up to this Jennifer. It's not a, I guess it's probably a ghost per se, because we're gonna see more like enemies like her, but I think the game just makes her disappear. So I always consider like maybe it's a ghost. You know, that's possible. So I kind of use the sword to my advantage right now. I just do one chop, and I chop their heads off, and of course they bleed out for quite a considerable amount of time. But I chop their heads off and throw the head at the next guy, and that usually gets like an instant kill. So it's so weird, this game. I'm telling you, like the weapons are just so unbalanced. The heads do like massive amounts of damage. They do like instant kills, not towards sub bosses, but mainly towards, you know, smaller groups of enemies. This part I always have problems coming back to because sometimes the game just hates me, I guess, and it makes it even more challenging in that area. But now that I figured out a little trick of my own where I just use the sword to chop their heads off, instead of just keeping on the sword and just wailing on enemies constantly, I figured, you know, I mean, hey, it's better just to chop their heads off and, you know, throw their heads back that way. Don't jump here because chances are you're probably going to die. The platforming in this game is not really that good. The jumping in this game is not really well polished. I don't think so. But I've died so many times right there. Last time I played this game, I just went through like a whole playthrough just to beat on Savage to get brutal mode to unlock. I screwed up so badly because I kept jumping over it and I didn't realize the platform was going to move back to me because I forgot that there was a platform there. But yeah, I recommend grabbing the bat because you've probably already used your sword by now. So just go ahead and use the bat. If you didn't use your sword, good. You can keep it. Or you can be like me and break the bat quickly. We only have one. Yeah, you can't get back up there though. Well, yeah, I'm telling myself that. No, I'm telling you guys you can't get back up there. There's no way back up there. That's why I want you guys to grab the bat instead. If you've used the sword. If you haven't used the sword yet, then all fares and well. Just go ahead and use the sword. But you always want to keep the weapons that have at least full health. You don't want to just use something that's almost broken. If you ever have the moment where even if you really, really like that weapon, just pick up another weapon. I don't care if it's a chainsaw or a shotgun. If your weapon's about to break and there's no way to get back that weapon, just drop it for another weapon. Most of the time, 99% of the time, your weapon will actually be accessible to where you can come back and get it again. But in a moment like that, no, it won't work. So these are new types of enemies. I like to call them frogmen. I have no other name for them besides frogmen, so they just look like frogs to me. I don't know. Then I used the ability to rip their arms off and use it against him. Which, actually, they give you a stick and a wooden plank with nails on it. I think it's to the right, somewhere around there. Also, I want to make mention of something real quick. When you're in Berserk mode, if you have more than one bar, you can do Splatter Smash, Splatter Slash as many times as you want but when you drop down below that one bar, then the game says you can't use it anymore because the game registers that you're actually using it out of Berserk mode. Because, you know, it costs 1 bar to use a Splatter Smash or a Splatter Slash or a Siphon. So the game registers that, hey, you're using it out of, content, you're using it out of the battle. But if you use it while Berserk, well, you have an unlimited amount until you get to that 1 bar, like I'm saying, which you guys will get to see later. This is the new sub-boss. This thing's called Beast. That's just what they call it. They call it just the Beast. There's really no other name for it, I guess. From what I've looked up, they don't really have a name for it, so we're just going to call it Beast. These guys are actually kind of tough. These are the final sub-bosses we have to deal with. They're the toughest of the sub-bosses, but honestly, they're the most predictable and probably easy to get around. And of course, let's go ahead and punch out his butthole. Yes, if you like that kind of stuff, well, if you're into that stuff, here you go. This is just for you. But anyway, folks, we're getting near the end of this video. I'm gonna end off this episode here, and I will see you all next time. We'll play some more Splatterhouse on Brutal Mode, and we'll do Phase 8, which I think is called Reflections in Blood. Before we do that, let's get an upgrade. I was looking at my weapon efficiency just to make sure. Actually, I don't think I upgraded. Alright, well, take care, everybody.